This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, hello.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. Do you mind if we jump straight into things?
Yeah, might as well.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, what motivated you to get on the call with us here today?
Majority, I'm very money driven. That's the first thing. So when I did hear about this, I heard about a couple months back, but now I'm just like, I might as well get into it without actually
Okay.
procrastinating on it.
So you found out about us or Amazon FBA a few months back?
Amazon FBA, about you guys, a couple months back. Amazon FBA, heard for quite a while.
Okay, like why now then?
By now, I'm on my last year of uni.
Sure.
And I'm thinking about what I want to do after. And Amazon FBA, I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So I thought now would be the great time to start.
Okay, and what are you doing at uni right now then?
Politics.
Politics. Okay, like how long was that degree?
3 years. So this is my last year now.
Okay, do you have any like exams coming up or exams to go before you qualify and you're done with it?
I do have a couple. I don't have exams now, but assignments, yeah, but that's quite manageable.
So you don't have, just to make sure we're on the same page here, no more exams, you just got a few more assignments.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like it might make a bit more sense to get through your assignments first, get your degree out of the way, and then look to start a new business? Or do you feel like now would be the right time to get started? The only reason why I ask is because you've been doing this for 3 years. The
Yeah,
last thing that we would want to do is just like mess everything up at the end.
for sure. I did have a think about doing it after, but when I've been dabbling into it, when I did see into it, I was able to manage my time. So I have made the time to make sure I put my work into Amazon FBA and into my uni course at the same time. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just curious, so like if you graduate with a degree in politics, like do you become a politician? Like what happens then?
Everyone always says that. I'm just like, please, I don't know for myself. But yeah.
So yeah, what like say for example you weren't gonna do Amazon FBA, like what would the path be then? Just want to like get a better understanding of
It
what.
would be into quite different from politics, but I would be getting into either marketing or business consulting.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
then is that a graduate job or like or what?
as a graduate job. Yeah.
Okay. Is that set in stone or do you have any offers or
I do have an offer, but it just depends if just how my options weighed up. for the time being.
okay. And I don't want to turn this into like an interrogation here, but like with the offer that you do have, like what are they offering you in the first year?
Salary wise, or are you
Salary
talking?
wise, yeah.
Oh, I don't like to speak about.
Well, it's an open conversation. The only reason why I ask is because if what we have on our end is going to be lower than what you're going to be doing with your graduate scheme job, then it might make more sense to go down the graduate route, build some money up, and then start this off at a much higher scale. That's the only reason why I'm asking here.
Okay. So they offered 32K.
32K. Okay. Just to be upfront with you, when it comes to Amazon FBA, in the first year of doing this, you're not going to be able to change your life. Just being completely
Yeah.
upfront with you. You're starting a legitimate cash flowing business in the first year. You're going to be taking your profit and reinvesting it back into the business.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you were aware of our guarantee. Was that made clear to you?
No.
Okay, so we do have a guarantee in place where if you haven't hit 100,000 in sales within the first 12 months of doing this with us, then we refund your entire investment. But that's based on an action-based guarantee where you must have contacted at least 100 suppliers and you have to have tested at least 50 products. If you've done that but haven't got it into 100,000 in sales, we refund your entire investment back to your bank account that you initially invested into our services in the first place.
Yeah.
So say, for example, you were to hit 100,000 in sales, 20 to 35,000 pounds off that would be profit. But again, that's going to be going back into the business. So you can like operate your Amazon FBA business at a much higher scale in year 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're
Yeah.
building a long-term thing here. So initially, the graduate scheme might work out more profitable for you, just from a money in the bank account sort of thing. But as time goes on, it's not going to be able to compare to Amazon FBA as you're building a legitimate cash flowing thing where you can take a step back
Yeah.
pretty much run it on maintenance mode. So having said all of that, out of the two options you have here, which one do you feel like would be the better long-term play for you?
I think the long term, I would say Amazon FBA purely because I do later on, I know for a fact putting in it will be hard the first year, second year, 100%. But I do want to have more of that time after on, which I don't think I will have with business consulting, with the job that I will pursue later on if I was to
Yeah.
choose. Yeah, so I would say.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a case of looking to buy back your time, especially like I'm guessing you're in your early 20s,
Yeah,
you don't want to give your way life
yeah.
away to an office job. Yeah, I
It's
can appreciate that.
also it's
Yeah,
also with, for example, business consulting, it is quite fixed with how much money you can earn. With Amazon FBA, with anything like e-commerce in general, you can earn unlimited. Like, you know what I mean? If you put work into it. That's I keep saying that because if I do. So
yeah,
yeah, I just want to have that opportunity.
no worries. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were clear before we moved on there.
Yeah.
Um, so the next sort of question I have is, were you should have received a video before the call here today. Were you able to go through the entire thing?
I went through it last week before, so I was meant to have a scheduled meeting before,
Sure.
last week, but I had to reschedule. So it's a little wishy-washy from what I remember, from what I watched last.
Okay.
Yeah,
From what you do remember, did you find it helpful?
yeah, it was quite helpful. It was.
Okay. And was there anything missing from the video that you would have liked to have been addressed in a bit more detail?
Um, I would like it's one thing I know I'm not trying to get at you guys or anything, but it's like, for example, there's a lot of courses that people up here are always trying to sell, and they always do pull out one or two people that have become very successful. And I'm just like, I just wanted to have that reassurance with um how the course is in terms of how much they help you guys give and how much of a helping hand in general you would just give. Because there was this one course that I did start up before, and it was with Etsy, and it was just very different to what they were showing online, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to have a little bit more speaking about that, like what you guys do in the course in terms of one-on-one conversations, things like that.
Okay, no worries there. When it comes down to breaking down our services, I'll make sure I go through that. But you mentioned you started an Etsy course before.
Yes, so this was last year. So my storefront is still up there, but it's more so I had to basically do everything myself, even though I did um pay for a course and for mentor basically. So I just wanted to know what it's like here, because I do really like one-on-one mentorship, one-on-one.
Okay, so you invested into a mentor before then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, usually when people get let down by mentors or courses or sort of programs, it usually leaves a sour taste in their mouth. And when they don't get the results they're looking for, I hear that quite often.
Yeah.
So I guess like first and foremost, despite what's happened to you with the other like Etsy mentor, what even motivates you to still want to find a mentor like Jackson, like pursue this then?
Um, Jats, he came on my For You page multiple times. And even from the TikToks alone, it did help me financially. Like, he used to give financial advice, he used to give in terms of that aspect. So when he used to speak about Amazon FBA a lot, he used to speak about things that um other mentors, like other people that used to speak on FBA wouldn't give. So I knew straight away that if I was to start a course, or if I start a course, if I was to pay for a course, or if I was to ask for mentorship, it would be from someone like that. So yeah, that's how I came across.
Okay, cool. No worries there. So I guess what was like missing from the Etsy mentor that prevented you from sort of getting the results you were looking for with your business when it came to Etsy?
So at first I understood that I wouldn't be getting results straight away. Um, but however, when I did start seeing results, or when I did want to further my storefront, or when I did want to further something else of that sort, if I was to go to that mentor, specifically, she would not, like, there would be no progression basically. And because it was my first time around as well, I needed to have that extra hand for progression. And when I did want to do things myself or anything of that sort, it would just be clash. It would just clash a lot, if that makes sense. Uh,
Okay, no
so
worries there.
yeah.
Cool. So when it comes to like a sort of a mentorship sort of from us then, how do you see the ideal sort of relationship looking like then?
I would suggest, well, not suggest, I would say like more one-on-one calls. I think that was all I actually did want, even for my mentor before, more one-on-one calls. Just so we can have little updates, what I can do to further it, what I can do, like let's say for example, having to take a step back from something, all of that, I would say. It's the one thing that was missing from my mentorship before. So they did suggest we'll do one-on-one calls, but that didn't really happen often, as often they said it would be provided for. So yeah.
Okay, cool, no worries. I'll get into our services in terms of the support we're going to give you. But before I do that, the majority of people that I do speak to on these calls, they fall into one of three categories. Just want to work out which one that you fall into, so I know how to best direct our call here today. So you've got number one, people talking to other companies, researching other companies, and they're pretty much here to waste everyone's time. You've got number two, people that have a spouse or a partner, sometimes even their parents that they make decisions with, and unfortunately they can't be here on the call today.
Yeah.
And then you've got number three, people that are here to simply make a decision by themselves if everything aligns. So out of those three options there, which one do you feel like you fall into?
Three. I would make my decisions myself.
Three, no worries. Now, I know you mentioned you're looking for one-on-one support, you're looking for guidance, but is there anything else like you'd be hoping that we could help you with that you can't do yourself right now?
I think that would be it, because in terms of one-on-one calls, I would be able to express the concerns I'm having or anything like that. So I think my main concern right now.
Okay, cool. So before we get into things here, by now I take it you have a good understanding of who we are, what we do, and how our guarantee works. Am I correct? Okay, cool. So I've just got a few more questions for you just to make sure that we can 100% help you. If we can, I'll share my screen with you to give you the breakdown of our services. And by the end of the call, I'm just looking for a simple yes or no. Is that something you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, before we like sort of really get into things here, have you like 100% stopped Etsy, or like have you decided that at a later date you might start it, but Amazon FBA, that's the route you want to go?
I stopped Etsy completely.
Okay, cool. No worries. So what's the sort of 6 to 12 month goal with Amazon FBA then?
Financially, or are you talking about just in general with the
Financially, everything. Give me the breakdown of what you're looking Amazon FBA can do for you in 6 to 12 months.
I would say within 6 to 12 months, 6 months, I want to understand Amazon FBA completely on a deeper level. I want to have, for example, my listings. If I do have a couple, whether I have a couple or more than that, I do want to have a solid amount of that up there. By 12 months, I would want to see more revenue rolling in.
And what do you mean by more revenue?
Year, as in I don't expect any profit to be made within those 6 months, because right now I just want to learn. I want to like understand everything on a deeper level, and from there I just want to make sure I know how to get a foot in myself, and then by those 12 months I want to see more sales rolling, if that makes sense.
Sure, no worries. That makes sense.
Hopefully.
In terms of the sort of financial side of things, I know I mentioned that we do have the guarantee in place where it's £100,000 within 12 months, or it's a money back guarantee there.
Yeah.
But for you, like, what sort of numbers would you be looking to hit after 12 months of doing this?
I would say I haven't thought about that completely.
You haven't thought about that?
It's a little wishy-washy for me, because I don't want to say something that's exactly. I just don't know about that.
Okay.
How much,
So
yeah.
let's use 100,000 as a baseline here, just to make sure everything's simple. Again, now after a year of doing this, it's unlikely you're going to be able to. Are you working full time or part time in a job right now?
Part-time.
Part time. Okay, cool. So after 12 months of doing this, just to make sure we're not going to like sell you the dream here. After 12 months, it's likely you're still going to be working in your part-time job, but you're going to be having a legitimate business that's making sales, and you can realistically still look to take another, what's it called, a step back for year two and start taking money out of the business.
Yeah.
That's what you're building here. So year one is building the foundation for
Yeah.
year 2, 3, 4, and 5. At the end of, as I mentioned before, 100,000 in sales, 20 to 35% of that would be profit. Now, the higher end is going to be for when you're negotiating discounts, when you're ordering in more greater quantities, so you can negotiate lower prices. That's
Yeah.
what ultimately we're going to teach you how to do with the support that we're going to give you. But the one thing I want to say is a lot of people do quit at the 30 to 60 day mark because once the realities of being a business owner kick in, they realize this isn't some sort of glamorous like
Yeah, for
Instagram or
sure.
YouTube thing. Yeah, they just fall off. So my question to you is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to actually go through all the pain, the suffering, the headaches, the uncertainty of building a successful business here?
I feel like at first I have, but it's just the demotivation that I've gotten from other people that made me lack. However, when I am with, for example, with business and e-commerce, I have always been driven with that. But it's just that I just never been able to put fit in it. So once I do know how to do it, I am willing to do whatever.
I like the answer, but I'm looking for a number just so I know like where you stand.
I'm still not quite sure.
Not quite sure.
Still not quite sure.
If you really dug deep into your like gut feelings, where do you think you'd be?
If I was to say, for example, 100,000 is the base, I would say a little bit above that.
I'm
Purely.
talking about in terms of motivation. On a
Oh,
scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to go through all the shit to make this happen?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
cool. No worries there. Because we do get some people, they think that, yeah, this is nice, but when it comes to motivation, they've got a roof over their head, they've got food on the table. Like, is there going to be like any major consequences if they don't build a successful business here? Not really. So are they going to get through the 30-day period, the 60-day period of like building a business here? It's unlikely. And that's at that point there where I tell them to say, it's nice, but like, please go your separate ways. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So if it's 100,000%, yeah, it's a good sort of place to be. Have you considered trying this for free by yourself though? Because there's tons of free guides on YouTube, on the internet, on Reddit as well, that would show you how to do set everything up, how to do product research, how to
Yeah.
find the right suppliers, negotiate with them, how to hire virtual assistants so you can scale up. There's all that information on YouTube. Have you considered trying this for free before, or
Um,
no?
I have done this before in terms of my own personal research. However, there are a couple of people that I do know that have been quite successful with business models like this, and they've always suggested to go for a mentor,
Oh, okay.
for mentorship because it's way more intricate, it's much more detailed than what you can find online. So I was like, yeah, like I think it's a good way to start.
Okay, cool. And have you been researching other people in that time to get mentorship, or has it just been us?
Yes, I've reached out to people, and I think like this so far is the best for that.
Okay, cool. And I guess why didn't you move forward with anyone else then, if you've been like looking at other people?
Um, so for example, I have been like some other people that I do know that have been successful with this, they did suggest to go with a mentor. But then they were quite cons, the couple of cons, which they thought, okay, you are looking for this, they don't have that. With other mentors that they all suggested, they had one aspect, but they didn't have the other. So when I did go through Jatz's social media and what he was telling, like portraying everything of that sort, it did in a way tick all the boxes that I was looking for. So
Okay, cool. I guess like one more question here is like, is this a genuine priority for you right now? And the only reason why I ask is because we do give quite a lot of support on our end. The last thing that we want is for someone to not take 100% advantage of all the things we're going to give them to make sure that they can succeed with this from absolute day one to get the ball rolling here. So is this a genuine priority for you right now?
I'm going to be honest, this and my university is going to be my priority. So at first, I was going to make uni my priority and then come back with Amazon FBA after. However, with my time management, I was able to prioritize both. So I'm just going to
Okay.
be honest.
No worries. And just to be upfront when it comes to the amount of time this is going to require, it's going to be at least 2 hours a day. That's
Yeah,
what you're going to have to put in consistently every single day to like build up that momentum to be successful with this. That's just what we've seen from our most successful students. Their habits that they put in to get the results that you've seen in the video, and I'll break down in front of you as well. But 2 hours a day, is that something you would be able to comfortably do?
for sure. I was meant to like I thought it would be like 3 4 hours a day. So I made sure I made that time just so I
No, the more the better, but at
yeah,
least
yeah, for sure.
because there's going to be days where like you might not be able to put in two, it might be one because life happens, we get that, but
Yeah.
at a minimum, 2 hours a day where you can comfortably set aside on a consistent basis, that's what's going to allow you to succeed here. Because again, you're going to need time for product research and contacting manufacturers and negotiating with them and opening accounts with them and just like getting the ball rolling. So if you set up a block of time every single day to do that, then that's what's going to ultimately get you results here. But for, say, for example, the rest of October, November, December, January, February, would there be anything coming up that's going to sort of throw a spanner in the works and like prevent you from putting that time in?
For the time being, I have all the time in the world. However, in December, I will have some assignments which I
Sure.
might be able to, like, I might have to put less time in for those couple of weeks. But then, for example, in January, February, I'll be okay.
No worries. So your assignments are in December then?
Yeah.
The busiest time of the year for Amazon FBA.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, yeah. November, December time, Q4, typically the best months for Amazon FBA because that's when everyone wants to send gifts and presents.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, but the thing is, there's going to be tons more Q4s. So just get that experience for now, and then you'll be okay.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm happy to share my screen and give you the breakdown. But before I do, was it made clear to you in terms of the investment required for our services and how much you're going to need for stock?
Yes. I've seen it did say 1K, but I'm not quite sure if it's just that or if I need more. So I was wondering if you can break down with that as well.
Yeah, no worries. The last thing again we want to do is put you in a bad position financially in order to do this. So, it's 1,000 at a minimum for stock. So that's what you're going to need to like invest into stock. Now, that isn't to say you're going to invest the whole 1,000 like the minute one of joining our service. It doesn't work like that.
No.
That's when you need to like initially buy your test shipment, see if it's selling fast, then invest more into stock as time goes on. But for our services, it's 995. So
Yeah.
you're looking at a £2,000 decision if everything aligns. Is that something you're comfortably able to do?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, no worries. We're not gonna like drain your bank account here. It's
No,
gonna be
no,
fine.
no.
No, yeah,
No
that's fine.
worries.
Because yeah, no, I know you're working part time. You're a uni student as well. Like, don't want to put you in a bad position.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have a pen and paper handy to take notes?
Yes. I will.
So let me just share my screen here.
Okay. Okay.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in order for us to help you make your first 100,000 in sales within the next 12 months of launching your Amazon FBA business, there's 4 steps we have to take. So first is your initial setup, then it's going to be helping you with product research, then it's going to be helping you find the right suppliers, and then it's going to be helping you scale your business for the years to come. So when it comes to the 4 steps here, is everything clear?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, when it comes to your initial setup, we're going to help you set up your wholesale company, your business bank account, your company website, your company email, and your Amazon seller account. Now, I know it sounds like there's quite a few things to set up here, but Jax has broken everything down within our service in a very click-by-click format. So you're compliant and good to go from day one. If you just follow our direct instructions, it usually takes less than 48 hours to set everything up. When it comes to your website, you just use AI, make a very simple website, which again, that shows you what to do. And again, within this time frame, you'll have everything set up. Now, the main benefit for you here is when you're talking to manufacturers, they're going to respect you. They're going to take you seriously because you've set everything as a legitimate company before you try to start negotiating with them. And they're going to be more open to opening an account with you and giving you the best rates. So when it comes to the initial setup, is everything clear?
Yeah.
And do you have any questions before we move on?
No. Everything's been broken down, so should be good for now.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the next stage after this is going to be helping you with product research. So this is where the majority of people fail when it comes to Amazon FBA because they spend months and months and months pouring thousands of pounds into just the wrong products that don't sell. So to make sure that doesn't happen to you and to make sure that you succeed, you're going to get the 5-point checklist that Jazz has built after years of doing this. So there's no need for like overly complicated softwares. Jats has broken everything down into just 5 steps. He's refined everything to 5 simple steps that you need in order to find hidden gems with his proven sales history from big brands that customers already know, like, and they trust. Now, to make sure that you don't invest money into bad products and run into this problem here, you're going to fill out a product research form and submit it to Jats for him to review. Now, he'll give you his feedback, and if he believes you found a winning product, you'll be ready for the next stage, which is going to be sourcing these suppliers for it. So this is what that looks like. So you type in your name. So Mahmudah, I don't know if I spelled your name wrong there. So you
Yeah.
type your name, type in the product link, the product ASIN, and if it meets the 5 checks, then you submit it. Either Jats or one of our community leaders that are running a successful Amazon FBA business, they'll get back to you within 24 hours. And this is unlimited, by the way. There's no limit in terms of how many forms you can submit. You could submit 100 in one day. It might take us a while to go through each and every single one, but we'll get back to you. The main focus for us is to make sure you've found the best product for you in the shortest time frame possible. So yes, again, this is unlimited, and we encourage you to abuse this and just take full advantage of how many times you can use the product research form. So when it comes to product research, do you have any questions?
No, not questions, but I really like that.
You sure?
I've not had this before with my other, so
Yeah. So yeah, you'll get actual feedback in terms of like why it's a good product, why it's a bad product, why you should go back to the drawing board, what mistakes to look out for the next time. You'll get that feedback. So just so you know how to do this for yourself as time goes on. But in the beginning, definitely overuse this. This is really helpful. This is something that our students have found that just saves them a lot of time and effort and a lot of thinking capacity as well. Because you don't want to like get into that position where you're trying to use your brain too much. Just outsource it to someone else with more experience and just focus on like the more day to day as time goes on. Make sense? Cool. Do you have any questions before we move on?
it was in terms with like products. So let's say, for example, do you guys focus on one specific products?
Everything. So everything.
Everything.
So I'll go into the supply side as well to give you a better explanation here. But it's all types of products. The main focus here is making sure that they're profitable and making sure that you can build a business that's going to scale. Now,
Okay.
when it comes to Amazon FBA, just to be completely upfront with you, the life cycle for products is usually like three weeks to like 6 weeks within that time frame. That's when other people start like hopping on it as well and tanking the price lower. So the skill you're going to be building up here is finding products before everyone else does and listing them before everyone else does. So you're going to be constantly in that loop there. Now, the way that it works is you'll be building half of your portfolio with seasonal products. So say, for example, we're going into Q4, so it'll be like holiday presents. And then in January, you'll be looking to sell like gym equipment, so people going back to the gym. Then in the summer, you'll be looking to sell like hay fever tablets or hay fever supplements or like towels or tissues, that sort of thing. And then in the winter again, you'll be looking to sell like warm clothing or things like that. That's the seasonal aspect of things. Then on top of that, you can build evergreen products. So say, for example, like baby powder, things that will sell all year round. So if you build those things up there and as time goes on, you've got consistent revenue coming into your business as each month goes by. That's what we're going to teach you how to do when it comes to product research and just scaling your business overall. Now that I went on for a bit there, does everything make sense to you?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Now, when it comes to, before we move on, do you have any questions when it comes to product research?
No, which big for now.
Okay, cool. So the next stage after this is going to be helping you find the right suppliers. So after Jats or one of our community leaders has given you the green light with the product that you've researched, it's time to get connected with suppliers of that product and build long-term partnerships with them. So the suppliers that most people get suckered into using, they have no testimonials, they're bad when it comes to communication, they sell on Amazon themselves. So say, for example, you phone them up requesting a product or information about a product, they'll research it. If it fits within their sort of business plan, they'll cut you out and sell it on Amazon themselves. They're also very unclear with their pricing, which makes it difficult for you to forecast your business for the months and months to come. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to help you get partnered with suppliers that are very diligent when it comes to communication. They have fast turnaround times with their shipments, so your customers are going to be happy. They're going to give you 5-star reviews because they're getting their products on time. They have a good reputation in the community. They have strong testimonials. But perhaps the most important thing is they have a very simple pricing and discount threshold for you. This is going to make it easy for you to plan your margins and plan how much stock you need for the months and months to come, especially during the holiday periods. Also, they come recommended by other sellers, especially Jats and our other students. So when it comes to the types of suppliers we're going to help you get connected with, do you have any questions?
I've heard in terms of like other mentorships, sometimes they do like review communities. So once you are, for example, in someone, they will provide like a Facebook account or something of that sort where they would upload reviews to help you pull back. And for example, they'll get like more 5 stars, for example, more 4 stars. Do you guys do that as well, or?
We don't go down that route simply because if we gave everyone the same suppliers, everyone's going to sell the same products, and then no one has an edge, and everyone tanks the price lower, and no one makes any money. So
Okay.
what we're going to do, we'll teach you how to find the right suppliers for
Mhm.
your product specifically, but we're going to make sure that they've got all these green flags here to give you that reassurance. And again, I'll explain the support we give you in terms of like one-on-one support, to make sure that when you do speak to us and you do mention that you found a supplier, we'll sort of go through the sort of checklist that we have that we would also obviously teach you, and just to make sure that you're not going to be wasting your time here, and you're not going to get sucked into someone like this when you
Yeah.
should be with someone like this. Is that clear?
No, sounds good.
Cool. Now, so make sure you don't get taken advantage of by any supplier, even if they're in this column here. We're going to give you the exact word-by-word calling and email scripts you need in order to source, vet, and partner with the right supplier. We're going to give you a checklist of questions you need to ask them so they understand that you're not a beginner and they give you the best rates. So we'll tell you what to say on the phone and we'll tell you what to say in email, especially when it comes to negotiating and opening up accounts. So you're not going to be in a position where you're left to your own devices, you're scared to pick up the phone, not knowing what to say. We'll give you the exact sort of questions you need to ask, how to open up the conversation, what to say, so you've got that confidence that you can make these phone calls, and then you can open long-term accounts with them. We're also going to give you guidance on how to conduct a test shipment, so we'll help you work out if there's product market fit as quickly and as cheaply as possible. So as I mentioned before, with the £1,000 you've set aside for stock, that's not going to be invested into like the entire first shipment from day one. You'll invest like a fraction of that initially to work out if there's demand first and foremost, if it's selling quickly. The velocity is what we really look at, if it's selling fast, and then we'll give you that green light to invest more into stock as we've established proof of concept, and we're going to give you that confidence to scale up more and obviously scale your business here. So when it comes to finding the right supplier, conducting test shipments, negotiating with suppliers, do you have any questions?
In terms of like test shipments, how often would you say it would happen to find a good product for listing? And
Oh, so this is you're going to be doing this quite often, because this is something you're going to have to get really good at. So product research and test shipments, those are the two things you're going to pretty much have to specialize in when it comes to
right,
Amazon FBA, because
okay,
you're constantly going to be researching products, you're constantly going to be listing new things, you're constantly going to be ordering small first, and then just working out if the stock you've ordered is selling fast, and that's the one that to invest more money into. Because just to be upfront with you, there's going to be times where you do invest money to stock, it's not selling very well, and compared to others, and that's when you've got that data in your hand to say which is the right sort of thing to invest into. That's something that's something that software won't be able to sort of give you information on. They show you what might be a good product, but it's only with your own experience of actually seeing what's sells quickly. Do you understand what's going to sell correctly for you personally, as opposed to everyone else? So does that answer your question?
yeah, that's my question.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other questions when it comes to finding the right suppliers or negotiating or test shipments?
In terms of negotiating, I was wondering, so with the test shipment, this will all be together, right? So we find a test shipment, and then because I was wondering if I was to do with the right supplier, how often would I be going through, for example, if I do 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, would that be the first thing that I have to do?
So to break this down, first and foremost, it's the initial setup. So you set everything up correctly. You contact us. Again, I'll show you the support that we give you with that. We'll give you that audit to make sure everything is correct, and then you move on to the next stage, which is going to be product research. You go through our curriculum, you learn how to do it, and then you obviously do it in practice. And then you submit the product research forms, as many as you need. Then we give you that feedback as to which is the best product for you to start off with. And then it comes down to finding the right supplier, which again, we teach you how to find, but it's also a case of making sure they fall into this category here. Once they've done that, then it's a case of conducting a test shipment. If the supplier that you do contact, if the minimum order quantity is a bit too high, you can go to someone like Costco or a general warehouse to buy maybe like 20 to 30 units of that product and see if it sells quickly. And then if you do have that proof of concept there, then you can contact the supplier with more confidence and conduct that test shipment with them at a higher scale to scale your business up. But that's how the whole process would pretty much work. And you're just constantly in that loop there of
Yeah.
researching products, test shipments, scaling up the best ones, and then going back to product research again to find new products. And that's what's ultimately going to build your business here. You'll get faster as time goes on. Your processes will be more streamlined. But in the beginning, with the support that we give you, just abuse it.
Okay.
Make sense? Does that answer your question, or would you like me to go into more detail?
No, we should be good.
Sorry?
We should be good. Thank you.
No worries there. So yeah, it says the call is going to end in 4 minutes. So I'm just going to exit the call here. Just rejoin the same call with the same link in like 2 seconds.
Okay. No worries.